Recently I went on a small trip to go photograph some camping equipment, and along the way I filmed some behind the scenes footage of the shoot. So today I thought it'd be a really cool idea to bring you along so you could see what it was like capturing the images. I wasn't commissioned to do this shoot, but recently I've been trying to put a lot of effort into building up my commercial portfolio. So on this trip the idea was to photograph some camping equipment to kind of showcase what I can do as a photographer and also the story I can put together. I shot this whole series with the help of my friend down in the southwest of Western Australia, and I shot it all on my Sony A7III. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that that's kind of my professional camera that I use for bigger shoots, and that was just what this was. I wanted a big variety with my lenses, and I wanted to kind of make the shoot as well rounded as possible. So using the A7III and all of the 3 lenses I have was kind of where I wanted to take this. So the theme of this story was to capture a hiker who was hiking over the cliffs, who would then find a spot and set up camp, and I was going to photograph this story and at the same time capture the products he was using. The product I decided to shoot was the tent. In hindsight, I probably should have done something a little bit easier, but this was a new kind of product I've bought and my model was just kind of using it. I think moving forward I'll probably do a backpack or something a little bit easier, but the tent worked great and the whole storyline was the main purpose of capturing this. So with every shoot, what I like to do is a location scout. So I'm not awfully familiar with this region we were photographing in, especially that location in particular. So trying to find the right location to shoot in was a real challenge at first. After the bad luck on the first day, we did find a great location on the second day, and that was in the middle of the day before the light was nice. So it was a great time to be exploring and looking for spots to shoot. The spot we found was perfect for what I was thinking. It was quite elevated, had a great view of the ocean, and the best part was that it was kind of off a 4-wheel drive track, so there wasn't many people around to interrupt the shoot. Like I mentioned earlier, the product we were shooting was a tent, and to make life easier for ourselves, we actually set the tent up during those harsher sunlight hours to avoid wasting time when the sun was a lot nicer. This little trick helped so much in the whole shoot, and it's something I'd recommend to other photographers if you're planning a big shoot like this, is to try to set up as many elements as possible to make sure that when the light is good, you're not really worried about that kind of stuff. One issue was that given I needed the tent in its bag for those hiking shots, what we ended up doing was filling the tent bag with towels and sheets just to make it look full while the tent was set off to the side. This little trick did help a lot, and yeah, it really made the shoot a lot more seamless. So after we got all this organized, we started with some establishing shots with the car arriving to really open up that story. So just getting some establishing shots now. So if I haven't already said, I'm shooting with my 55, my 35, and my 24-70. This is pretty much the one that's doing most of the work today because it's the most versatile. And I've got it all in a Peak Design satchel kind of vibe, whatever. These establishing shots came out really great and I was super happy with them, so we moved on quickly to some introductory shots of the character. Here I did some portraits and kind of the bag getting unpacked from the car before he began the hike. I really think the shots of the hiker walking around the cliffs contributed well to the story along with the product itself. It ties the story together from arriving, hiking, and then setting up the tent. So after we got those hiking shots, we moved over to where we had set the tent up and got some kind of interactive shots. With these interactive shots, I just got my model to adjust and kind of fiddle with the already put together tent. We would have looked a bit weird doing that, but it really helped having the tent all set up to get those shots and experiment with different compositions. I also managed to get a lot more detailed shots, which was great. With this sunset, the sun did start to get low really quickly. There was a lot of clouds. So after I had kind of got all the detailed shots and the storyline, then I just kind of experimented with some travel and more wider portrait shots of not only my model, but also the tent itself. We were treated to a really beautiful sunset, but unfortunately with the lack of light in the foreground, it did make my shots a bit hard to capture, but nonetheless it was still an awesome night to photograph this product in. I think if I had my time again, I'd have a few more shots planned of the tent itself. I got the storyline really well, but come the end when the sun got a bit too low, like I didn't have a ton of time to get shots of the tent itself and with different angles, so that's something to consider if I was to ever do this thing again. But overall, I was really happy with how the shots came out. This, like I mentioned, I wasn't commissioned for. This was just me putting this shoot together with a bit of a storyline, so it was a bit of an experiment at the same time, but overall, like super stoked with how the images turned out and also how we approached the whole shoot. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because it was really fun to put together along with actually shooting this product. So if you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want, like, let me know what images you like the most. It'd be great to hear some feedback for sure. But otherwise guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.